So today we're doing the C and lower potential rebuild. I can't use any players that have B or A potential on the team. I can have them in my farm system in the minor leagues, but I can't use them in the major league squad. So I definitely think this is going to be a good challenge. If you do enjoy it, make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoy the content. And as always, guys, get in the comment section and let me know some of your favorite C potential players. Obviously, we use different rosters, and I'll check out some of those players that you do mention. But let me know who are some of those glitchy players that don't have high potential. I want to know in the comment section down below. If you haven't followed any of my social media yet, it's down in the description below. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Go and give it a follow if you haven't yet. And if you missed yesterday's video, I'm going to put a link to it in the top corner. Yeah, top corner up here. Go and give it a watch. It was the one player rebuild. We took one player and had to build a team just using that one player. So I had to trade him away and try to fill a whole roster just starting with one player. And that's about it, guys. I want to keep the intro short. I want to hop right into this one today. Let's get into it. So just to make sure you guys know I'm not cheating or anything, I'm going to keep it a 3-year window for this one. I think this one's going to be a really good challenge. Try to get good as possible, and then no forced trades, no ignored budget. So like I can't just trade for whoever I want, and I can't just, I got to worry about budgets too. So I can't just go out and sign anybody. So I picked the Tigers because they don't really have a lot of high potential players currently in the MLB squad, and I thought it was going to be really good to kind of work with this team. Plus, they do have a couple players that have some trade value that would allow me to at least pick up some C potential players anyway. So here we go. What I'm thinking is I don't really know who to keep starting pitching wise. I think we're just going to have to completely get rid of the starting pitching. The bullpen, kind of the same thing. Closer, same thing. Catcher, I mean, I don't really. CJ Crone, I'll keep. That's about it. Harold Castro, I'm looking at this and man, I'm gonna have to find a whole new roster. Maybe keep Cameron Maybin. There's not a lot of good players to keep in this lineup that has C potential. So let's start making some moves. So I know I'm giving up a lot in this deal, but realistically, I'm just trying to shed some salary and at the same time trying to pick up a little bit of a couple glitchy players in Joe Kelly and Pedro Baez. I know I'm giving up Michael Fulmer. That's probably going to come back to hurt us towards the end of this, but this is the trade I'm going to do. The next one is Matthew Boyd for Andrew Chafin and Christian Walker. Another thing is if these players develop and hit B potential, I have to trade them. I can't keep them on the team. So there's another stipulation I got to worry about in this rebuild. All right, Daniel Norris is going to get us Chase Anderson, Anthony Bass, and Travis Shaw. Spencer Turnbull is going to get us Chris Bassett and Paul Blackburn. Joe Jimenez and Bo Burrows is going to get us Hansel Robles and Matt Andriese. Miguel Cabrera and Brandon Dixon, along with Josh Lester, are going to get us Masahiro Tanaka. I really need him to do well in this. Jonathan Scope's going to get us Mike Yastrzemski, Wilmer Flores, and Nick Vincent. I think that's all the pitchers now. I just got to get rid of those B potential players in the lineup. Travis Demerit, Victor Reyes, and Jody Mercer are going to get us Elvis Andrews and Danny Santana. Jaimer Candelario, Buck Farmer, and Ivan Nova are going to the Twins for Williams Astudillo. And then I think I have one more player that I need to get rid of in the starting lineup, Nico Goodrum. And I'm trying to think about what I kind of need. And I think it's an extra outfielder, maybe. So let me see if I can find one. All right, Nico Goodrum from Mark Canha. There we go. That's the team. Let me get it set up. All right, so the budget's a little tight. I mean, when you look at it, we got Tanaka, Andrews, Joe Kelly, CJ Crone. A lot of players who do become free agents at the end of the year. Hopefully, they'll take pay cuts at the end of the season in free agency. Let's take a look, see what our team's looking like. We got, once I move Nick Vincent out of that spot, maybe, because that's gonna bother me. I don't know really. We'll see. Tanaka, C potential. Bassett, C potential. Godley, C potential. Andriese and Chase Anderson. Starting lineup, our starting rotation, we're set. Paul Blackburn. We got Chafin, Bass, Vincent, Baez, Joe Kelly, and Hansel Robles. All C potential players. Hopefully it goes well. I feel like most of them will do well. I just hope my hopes are right. When we take a look at our bench, this is what we currently look like. We got Danny Santana, Williams Astudillo, Cameron Maybin, Jake Rogers. Oh no, Jake Rogers has got to go. Let's just Jake Rogers. Let's see. Let's just Jake Rogers for Austin Barnes. Can't do it. Okay. What about Brian O'Keefe? There we go. There it is. There's the trade. All right, you didn't see that. It didn't happen. So that's the team. Harold Castro is the only other one that I need to show you see potential. And then here we go. Kike, Elvis Andrews, CJ Crone, Mark Canha, Christian Walker, Austin Romine, Mike Yastrzemski, Wilmer Flores, Travis Shaw, Kike Hernandez again at the top. So there's the whole team. Everyone see potential. Whew. Budget is tight. Budget's really tight, but I'm hoping that everything goes well. We should be fine. Let's see how it goes. I'm not even going to focus on the draft because I don't want to get stuck with players with A and B potential. I'm just going to focus on players that we can get right now. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. The season's coming to a close, and we might be in the mix for a wild card spot, depending on how this month finishes. I mean, we're at 80 wins, and losing these games kind of hurt us, but we won the division. Okay, 91 and 71, taking on the Red Sox. And talk about some glitchy players, huh? So we won the division by 3 games. We're 26th in baseball, so we're not even like ranked highly, but you can see our stats. It looks like pitching wise went really well. Team ERA at 3.36. Hitting wise, doesn't look like it went great. So we'll take a look at awards. Mike Yastrzemski. So you have Verlander and Buehler, 2 pitchers MVPs. Okay. Batting title went to Rendon and Turner. Reliever of the year was Kenley Jansen and Aroldis Chapman. Tsutsugo, Akiyama, the normal guys for the rookie of the year. So let's take a look at our pitching, because that's really what it looks like carried the team. So Paul Blackburn, it'll still show their potential if we go like this. So there we go. Those are some good stats. Next up, Andrew Chafin. His potential's gone up a little bit, but it's still a C potential. That's all that matters. That's all I want to see. He had a phenomenal year. Anthony Bass, even what are these seasons? What are these seasons that I'm seeing? Next up, Nick Vincent had a good year as well. Gotta love it. Joe Kelly struggled a bit, but he might be a player I look to trade just because I feel like if he's going to do this season 1, we don't really need him come season 2. Pedro Baez, no. We got to trade him after this year. He's got B potential. That's tough. That is really tough. And then our closer, Hanzo Robles, that happened. So Pedro Baez is out the door. We'll take a look at our pitchers. Tanaka had a Cy Young caliber season. That is insane. Chris Bassett had a good year. Next up, Zach Godley, not terrible. I'll take that for sure. ERA and whip is good for Matt Andriese. And then Chase Anderson, again, really solid, kind of glitchy pickup for pitchers. So let's take a look at our bench. 223 for Danny Santana, not the greatest. Williams Astudillo, kind of the same. You look at Cameron Maben, kind of a quiet season. The bench was kind of quiet. Not really what I'm looking for. Kike Hernandez had 216. Not really a leadoff hitter. I think during the offseason, I'm going to let some of these guys go and actually look for a leadoff hitter. Someone with high contact, high vision, decent speed. Maybe fit that second base spot and then we can move Wilmer to third. Something like that. Because Kike, yeah, he's a good little like platoon option, but he's not really like a leadoff guy that I want going forward. Elvis Andrews, not the greatest of years. CJ Crone, no. So that's 2 players. Baez and Crone we got to get rid of after this year. You got Mark Canha, who had a pretty solid season. Christian Walker had a pretty decent year. Austin Romine, not so much. Mike Yastrzemski, not that great of a year either. Wilmer Flores did 300 average, 812 OPS, 18 home runs. Okay. Travis Shaw, 23 home runs, but only a 209 average. Yikes. So hitting wise, we're going to definitely have to improve this team, because that's really what's going to hurt us going forward in the postseason. Or even throughout this rebuild. So here we go. We get eliminated. That's okay. To be honest, I didn't expect us to even win if I would have quick managed. Anyways, let's move forward. Let's get into this. The Dodgers defeat the Astros, and let's see what we can do this offseason. We have a lot of players hitting free agency, so that's gonna be a point where we're gonna have to figure out who we want to bring back and who we want to let go. So luckily, Pedro Baez does become a free agent. I say that because I want to luckily, because he's B potential, we don't have to end up trading him. But I would have loved to keep him. He was outstanding. Unfortunately, we can't. Same with CJ Crone. So both B potential players we can't keep. Masahiro Tanaka, if I can get him to stay on a decent contract like this, I will be super happy. That's not bad. If he signs that, we're good. Kike, I'm going to let go. Chase Anderson, I definitely want to bring back. Let's see if I can do something like that. I'll even put him as a rotation guy, so that bumps that up. And then Andrew Chafin, I'm going to do my patented club option. Oh, man, he's going to want a little bit of money, huh? $4 million. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. Austin Romine, I'm going to let go. Nick Vincent, can I get you a 1-year deal? Maybe Anthony Bass, kind of the same thing. Can I get you on a 1-year deal? Ooh, you'll take a little bit of money. Ooh, I love that. Cameron Maben, you're going to go. I'll see you guys once we get to arbitration and stuff like that. Arbitration wise, I think everybody, yeah. As long as they're low, I'm going to offer it to them. If they want like 3, 4, 5 million, I might hold off. We'll have to wait and see. Contracts wise, I got to be smart here because I want to keep the A potential guys just in case we need to make a trade and try to pick up someone a little bit better. But I think for the most part, I'm going to bring back every single guy in the team, and then we'll just make trades if any of them make the major league roster. Let's see if there's any glitchy C potential players that we could potentially bring in. Maybe I don't know. It's maybe Jeremy Jeffers. How did he do? Really good. Is he our Pedro Baez replacement? He might be. Juan Nicasio, maybe. I'm not too sure. We do need a catcher. I felt like catcher was an area we definitely struggled with. Maybe James McCann. We'll have to wait and see. First base, we lost CJ Crone, so we definitely need to find someone that can replace that bat. Smoke, potentially. Maybe Tommy Stella could come in and help us out. He's a decent bat. D. Gordon. So we're going to have to figure something out. I don't really know where we're going to go because we need some good bats because our average as a team, 250, that's not good enough. So making a trade to start season 2, and this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. Joe Kelly, Isaac Paredes for Scott Oberg. Isaac Paredes is one of those players that keeps getting sent up and down between the majors and the minors. So I figured let's just trade him before we run out of options and a team gets him anyways. Yeah, I need a bullpen arm that I can rely on. Joe Kelly wasn't that guy. So there we go. So not many changes in the team. I did bring in Jeremy Jeffers. Obviously, we just brought in Scott Oberg, but the starting rotation was pretty reliable last year, and pitching wasn't our problem. There were a couple guys that did struggle, but for the most part, it was this. This was the area that let us down quite a bit. Tommy La Stella, I brought him in. I thought maybe with his high contact, his high vision, he would be the best leadoff guy possible. I thought about D. Gordon. I looked at some of his stats. Just didn't really feel like he would do it for us. So I'm going to go Tommy La Stella. We have Travis Shaw, who I might just move into the 3 spot. And then the only other change was Jay Bruce is going to play right field. Fielding wise, we're terrible. We're slow, not the best fielding, but offensively, I feel like we should at least get a little bit of a boost. We have a lot of home run hitters. Jordan Luplow was brought in. Todd Frazier was brought in. The Todd father. Aledmus Diaz is a backup infielder. Harold Castro. So all these guys, they have C potential. Like every single one of them. I'll go back to the top of the lineup. That makes a little bit more sense. But every single one of these guys have C potential, and hopefully it goes a little bit better. You know, that was a huge letdown to see that offensive just disappointment. It was just disappointing. Really, really disappointing to see the team perform like that offensively. Pitching wise, I was like, okay, that's what I want to see. But offensively, it was just I looked even through what was like kind of left over through free agency, and maybe is Edwin B potential? He's A potential. That's tough. That would have been a player I would have been like, ooh, let's get him in the squad. Everybody else, I don't know. So that's going to be season 2. I thought about any other trades that we could have done. Maybe try to get a new left fielder. Maybe try to get a new something else. Actually, let's get a new left fielder because I'm not liking Mike Yastrzemski. I'm getting really let down by him. Eric Thames. Yeah, Eric Thames is going to be the guy. C potential. He hit 41 home runs last year. Yes, this is the guy. So that's the only change to the lineup. Let's see how season 2 plays out. Hopefully it goes better. Another season, and it's looking like another postseason appearance. I mean, the team's looking really good. We're almost at 90 wins again. So hopefully we can get a good streak of wins towards the end of the year. Finish it off on a good note. Hopefully get some league leaders this time. Maybe another award that's like not a gold glove or anything like that. So we're at 91 wins, the same amount that we had last year. And we're actually a wild card team this year. So we might have to step up our game in the offseason. Hopefully get some of those glitchy players. So here we go. We're going to face the Athletics. But first I want to see how we missed it by a game. 1 game. Did we play the White Sox at any point this last month? No. Okay. I mean, but still, 1 game, that's tough. But we did have a league leader, Masahiro Tanaka. Okay. All right. So we'll take a look at some of these league leading stats. And I'm trying to see if we kind of pop up anywhere. Anything. Nothing? Doesn't look like it. I'm assuming not triples. Maybe home runs. Eric Thames with 38. But Again, I'm thinking we're going to be let down by our offensive performances. It looks like the pitching went well. I see Tanaka's up there. That's it. Anything else? Maybe losses. Tanaka again. So maybe just as a collective unit, we just were decent. You know, Chafin I saw was up there for pitching with saves. ERA went up. The average went up a little bit, but not much. So maybe we just need to find some guys who get on base a lot, because I feel like that's maybe an area that's letting us down. Paul Blackburn, again, a very consistent, like, long reliever, so I'm cool with that. Jeremy Jeffers wasn't as good as he was last year, but still a decent season. Not like it's crazy or bad or anything, but it's all right. Anthony Bass, however you pronounce your last name, you are just so good in the bullpen right now. Scott Oberg kind of imploded, whatever you want to say. Not as good as he was last year. Might trade him next season. Nick Vincent was even better than he was last year. The ERA went down. Actually, the ERA went down. The whip went up. It was about the same. Pitched a few. Let's back up a bit. Pitched fewer innings, but still a really good season. Hansel Robles got back on track. Love to see it. And Andrew Chafin, potential went up. He had a really, really, really good year, though. Very good year. It's unfortunate that he didn't keep that C potential. Let's go take a look at awards, because I don't think we looked at that. Jordan and Kershaw and Severino were Cy Young. Batting title went to Trout and Brian Reynolds. Reliever of the year, Hendricks and Brad Hand. His ERA was 0.49. Ew. And then rookie of the year was Mackenzie Gore and Nate Pearson. Okay, so we looked at our pitching staff. Let's take a look at our bench. Minimal appearances for a lot of these guys, so it's kind of tough to judge how everything went. Aledmys Diaz as a bench bat, not terrible though, not terrible. And then Harold Castro. The bench bats probably bringing us down a little bit. Tommy La Stella, okay, all right, that's what I was looking for a leadoff guy, a guy who gets on base. Actually hit almost 30 home runs too. Elvis Andrews, I'm gonna trade him. I think we're gonna try to find a new shortstop, see if we can do that. Travis Shaw brought everything up. Love to see it. Am I going to keep him? Probably more as a bench bat, but he wasn't bad. Mark Canha, very similar to what he did last year. Jay Bruce wasn't as good as he did last year, but he also played a lot more games, so more at bats. But 19 home runs, might be a player I look to replace. Eric Thames, very, very good. Holy cow. Definitely keeping him in the lineup. Wilmer Flores, pretty decent year. Not great, but not terrible at all. It's like, that's actually a respectable season. Christian Walker's okay, but I definitely want to see a little bit more pop in the bat. Williams Astudillo was okay. So looking at this, definitely a new shortstop. Maybe a new first baseman with a little bit more pop, or maybe move Thames to first base. We'll figure something out. I found this guy in free agency last year, Frederick Trainer. You can see he's a prospect. He's got that minor league contract. Maybe he's our shortstop next season. Really good vision, decent discipline, okay hitting stats. That might be a guy that I look to get in that shortstop spot for that final year that we do this, especially since our budget is pretty healthy, and I feel like we're in a good spot to kind of spend some money, make some changes to the team. So here we go. What can we do? Tanaka's going to take the mound, and that's not the way you want to start the game, right? We do get one back. Wasn't able to score with the bases loaded multiple times, and then Semien makes it 6-1. 7-1. Uh-oh. The crazy thing is, in the offseason, I looked at Chris Davis instead of Jay Bruce. Maybe Chris Davis was the right move in the end, because 7-2, he's also hit, what, 1 or 2 home runs this game, and it's looking a little sad at this point. We might be in a little bit of trouble. Christian Walker, okay. Gets us maybe a little bit of a helping run. Maybe get us something to get started. And unfortunately, I think that might be it. As good as like we are at hitting home runs, we're not really doing anything else. And this margin is looking like it's a little bit too much. Unless we put something together here. Eric Thames, bases loaded. Bases are loaded for the... Oh, it's got to be Pedro Baez, doesn't it? Let's pinch hit, because he's only good against lefties. Let's go Jay Bruce. This is the guy who's going to bring us back within this game. No. Okay, Todd Father? No, that's the season. All right, we're making changes. I'm going to try to find the glitchiest players possible. The Dodgers defeat the White Sox, and we need to figure something out. Like, I want this team to be really good. I want to get to, like, close to the World Series at least. May not win it, but at least I want to get close. So I can't pick up Chafin's option, which sucks because he was outstanding. Eric Thames, though, you're playing every day in the team. You're the man that's sticking around. I'm going to give you a 1-year deal, but I'm going to boost up that contract. He was unbelievable. Wilmer Flores. How much do you want? 5? I mean, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money at all. But I feel like we might need that money. And especially since I'm trying to pick up some other good players, I'm going to hold off on Wilmer Flores. He looks like he's going to be really good. He could be a really good use for us. But I just feel like we could use that money somewhere else. TheAntOrtiz. I'm going to hold off. There might be another good starting pitcher we could use. Jordan Luplow. I'll pick him up just in case. It's $1 million. That's not that much. Nick Vincent has been very, very good. The thing is, I'm worried that this is the year he falls off, so I'm going to hold off. Jeremy Jeffers, I'm going to decline. Jay Bruce, I'm going to decline. Hansel Robles was very solid for us. He's going to be our... I can't promise he's going to be the closer, though. But I'll bump it up, see if we can get him to stay, and I'm going to let everybody else walk. That's a lot of money that we're saving, and I have a feeling that's really going to help us out. Arbitration-wise, this is what it's looking like. Not Godley, and then... Oh, no, not Bassett as the only option. Everybody else I decided to give. And then contracts. What are we looking like? It's looking like a lot of like prospects, so we're fine there. Contracts for free agents now. So this is what we're looking like. We're going to lose Bassett, so we need 2 starters, and we need to completely overhaul this bullpen. 2 options here, a closer, and then looking at the lineup, we need a right fielder, a DH, and a second baseman. So that's going to be tough. I could trade Elvis Andrus right now, try to find one of those guys, which I might do. So let me do that first. So Elvis Andrus is going to get us Jose Iglesias. Big salary dump. It works out for us. He's also C potential. So there we go. So looking at outfield options, we could bring back Jay Bruce. Maybe Adam Eaton as a good guy that gets on base quite a bit. That could be a decent option. What about Ender Inciarte? Not great last season. Limited appearances. I saw that he did have limited appearances, but that might be the move. Chris Davis. I'm actually just going to offer Chris Davis a contract right now. He hits home runs. That's definitely our DH going forward. And then let's see what other options are available. Miggy Rojas. I know he gets on base at an okay level. Freddie Galvis. Ooh, this we might have to make some trades because it's looking like we're in a little bit of trouble for options for really good bats, which is what we need. We need good bats. We need guys who get on base, and it's not looking like those are available. So unless I find some really good players here, it looks like we're gonna have to make some trades. I'll see you guys for the final season, season 3. So before we start this season, I do have to say that my power surged, and so I didn't save after the second season just yet. So I had to... Basically, I lost the whole second season, so I had to redo it. So if you're going to be looking at 2020's stats, some of them are going to be different. Nothing changed. Like, I just simulated the whole season, pretending like nothing happened, and then I made sure that I did the same exact contracts that I offered before I lost the save and had to redo it. So basically, I had to redo season 2. Nothing changed. No big changes like that. I made sure I did the same contracts and everything like that, and then I brought back a couple people just because there were no other better options in free agency. But I am going to go for Jose Quintana, lefty, see if he helps us out. He had an okay year last year. The whip is really low, which I like, and I think that's going to help us out. So I'm going to go trade him for Godley, and then we'll take a look at the team, kind of see how everything looks. So I decided to bring back Vincent. I brought back Jeffers because they were only like 2 of the good relievers that were available. Oberg, I'm still not sure about, but we have Givens. I brought him in as a setup guy, and then I'm going to put Robles. I might even put Oberg as a setup guy and hope that works. I'm noticing we do need a lefty, though, so I might trade Oberg for a lefty. And then this is the rotation. Minor, Bassett, I brought him back. He was still one of the better options available, and like he's been good, and as a 3 or 4, it's not terrible. Starting rotation's all the same, and then you guys can see our bullpen, all C potential players as it should be. That's what the challenge is. It's going to be difficult. So lineup wise, a couple changes, right? Tommy Stella is still here. Jose Iglesias to trade for Elvis Andrus. Daniel Polka, he's been so good in recent rebuilds. I thought, let's give him another shot. We need that run production. Eric Thames in right field. Chris Davis as our DH. Mark Canna. Christian Walker. Kyle Seager has been brought in to play third base. And then Brian O'Keefe is our catcher. Then we have Astudillo. Cole Calhoun as another outfielder. Excuse me. Ender Inciarte, C potential as well. Aledmys Diaz. And this shortstop that I had, from free agency who looks actually kind of good, like pretty solid, C potential as well. So I'm looking at this. I kind of want a different first baseman with a little bit more pop. Potentially could move Thames there and then get a new outfielder. But let me see if I can find a really good first baseman, and then let me see if I can find a lefty bullpen arm for us. Scott Alexander is going to be that lefty in the bullpen for us. Looks decent, C potential as well. Boom. So let's go see if we can find that first baseman. Christian Walker, Jose Martinez. That's the last change. I like the team outside of that. Jose Martinez is going to come in, be that first baseman for us. And that team looks really solid. Like, you look at that team and you go, okay, is it the best in the league? Definitely not. But I mean, that's a well-rounded lineup, you know. Not a lot of speed. Fielding wise, it's pretty bad, but I think we can definitely make the postseason one more time, see how it goes. Season 3, I really like the team, and the fact that we were able to stay within budget. I don't really know any other really good C potential players that we could have gotten. So again, guys, in the comment section, let me know your you know, like sneaky good glitchy C potential players that you use, and I'll see if I can pick them up in future rebuilds. But here we go, season 3. Let's make the playoffs. Unfortunately, it's looking like we're not making the postseason unless we really win out. I don't really see it happening. It just looks like pitching wise, we didn't really get the best that we could have gotten. It's looking like that's going to be the downfall for us this year. 83 and 79. Tough, really tough. So we finished behind 27 games. Yikes, 27 games back. And in the wild card, we were 12. So we just, yeah, it would have taken a miracle for us to do it. And that's kind of the problem, right? When you don't have the best of the best, it's pretty tough to compete with the best of the best. You're looking at the Yankees, you know, the Dodgers, the Astros, all those good teams. And you look at some of these players and you look at their seasons. You know, Michael Givens had a good year. Hansel Robles had a good season. Anthony Bass was really good throughout this entire rebuild. Nick Vincent did fall off, like I kind of mentioned. Like, the ERA is kind of high. The WHIP's not bad though. Jeremy Jeffers was all right. Paul Blackburn had his like worst season, which is kind of crazy to think about. But for the most part, everybody was really reliable except for this year. It looks like this year we really kind of took a step back, even offensively. This is probably one of our better years. You know, Inciarte is solid. You know, look, Frederick Trainer was pretty good off the bench. And then you look at Tommy Stella. Like I said, some of these, like last year's stats aren't going to be as good or not the same because I had to restart the season. So Tommy Stella is a bench bat or a leadoff guy. Probably not the most ideal option, but like when I was thinking of other C potential players we could have gotten, really the only one was like D Gordon, and he was hitting like 500 OPS. He wasn't doing great. Jose Iglesias was all right. You look at Daniel Palka, he had a pretty good year in terms of run production. Eric Thames fell off a little bit compared to his previous seasons. Chris Davis put up good numbers, which you want to see. Mark Cannon was 20 home runs plus every single year. Jose Ramirez was really good. Probably should have picked him up day one rather than Christian Walker. He probably would have been the right solution for first base. Kyle Seager was okay, but again, not the best option. And I feel like there may have been better options, and I definitely probably could have gotten better options, but it just looks like you really need those B and A potential players to really get you over the hump and really get you into that final step before you get to the World Series, or get you to the World Series. So as a team, 260. So what was that? Our best average throughout this entire thing? I think maybe we hit 265 last year or something like that. The ERA was the worst we've had as a team. So unfortunately, that's where it ends, guys. We'll take a look, let's take a look at the awards and everything like that, see who won MVP and stuff. Glaber's on the Braves now. Okay. And looking at the rest of the awards, there we go. So that's that. That's how it finishes, and I hope you did enjoy it. The C potential and lower rebuild didn't end with a grand celebration or no World Series, not even, you know, making it to the ALCS. We did make it to the ALDS. We did win the division once. Just wasn't meant to be, though. We made it to the ALDS, the wild card, and then after that just couldn't do anything. So I hope you do enjoy the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And as always, guys, get in the comment section. Let me know your favorite like C potential glitchy player to pick up. And that's about it, guys. Make sure you follow all social media. 2 videos are on screen now, my most recent and also one that YouTube recommends you check out. Go and watch them if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.